Okay, we just turned around at the water tank right here at Camp de Benneville Pines. I'll let you see what... This is where the fire burned down 2 years ago, the El Dorado fire. It burned right down here. You can see the burned wood. It burned right down. It was 2 years ago, September. I drove up here and the firefighters did an amazing job saving these camps in here. But you can see, I don't know if you'll be able to see this on the right, they've done a hell of a job with the erosion control. They got these hay bales, they got sandbags, they've used big logs. The maintenance guy was just I think his name was Frank, but he kind of channeled, he put the berms up there and kind of channeled it away from their water tanks. They were worried about the water tanks getting knocked loose. But those great things are called storm walls. They kind of like strap together with tie downs, but they're using those. They're what do you call them? Water barriers, like they use in the off-road races. They're full of water. They're a barricade, kind of like a K-rail. But yeah, this fire burned right to here, and there's the cabin on the right. There's their wood pile. I mean, it burned right up to their wood pile. I saw this at several cabins in here, but also in private cabins. The firefighters laid out hoses and made sure there was brush clearance. And then when the fire was spotting down in here, it would catch on fire a little spot. I mean, literally right next to cabins. They would jump on the hose, and the hose was already pre-laid. They would just hook a engine up and squirt the little spot fire out. Here down by Sedson Creek, I went in there and there was about 8 cabins that they saved. It was amazing. There's his backhoe and his bucket right there that he uses. Camp de Benneville Pines. It's a Unitarian church, but they have all kinds of retreats. What's sad is talking to the camp director, Janet James, and she's no relation, but she did something in my house in 1993. I didn't know she was up here until the fire. I ran into her. But no relation that we know of. But she was a realtor in Redlands back in 93 when I bought my house. But anyway, they've done a lot of work up here. This camp was almost financially bankrupt. And she came in and it's really cleaned up and fixed a lot of stuff. And it's a cool camp. In fact, there's a opening next week. It's kind of like an open adult senior group. See, they got a little bit of flow, but not like it could have been. And they made some little dams there, little rock dams to check it. Little check dams are going down. But I may come up next weekend, I think it is. That's the bow shoot though too. I wish it wasn't the same weekend. The bow shoots up here. Cherry Valley Bow Hunters has a 3D archery shoot up here next weekend. That will be, get my stuff off the dash here. Next weekend. Here's their kind of lodge, kitchen. I don't know if you can see it here on the right. I don't know if I can go. Yeah, I can. With a big deck. I was up here for when they brought the strike team up. Oh, I'm in two-wheel drive. That's why, or four-wheel drive. That's why I couldn't figure out why my tires were barking. I'm back on pavement. I was in four-wheel drive. Here's a little. That's where. What's her name? The ranger gave her talk at that little building over there on the right. I think I'm going down the wrong. Should have went right. Yeah, this is the one way up here. I'm going down the wrong way again. That was funny during the live drive. During the fire, they were all saying, he's going the wrong way. I didn't know. I'd never been up in the camp before. But you can see they had a little runoff here. See the little, where the water ran down. I gotta bust my tire. Anytime you're in four-wheel drive, it's best to put it in two-wheel drive, and then I'm just gonna chirp them a little bit. Yeah, it unbinds the drive shafts. When you're in four-wheel drive, that's what you were hearing was my tires chirping. The drive shafts have a lot of torque on them. And when you get on pavement, that's why you never want to drive on pavement in four-wheel drive. In fact, I may bark them a little more. I'm back in two-wheel drive. I got on the fly, two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive. Four low, you got to stop. Four high, I can shift. It's not the manual hubs like you used to have to get out on. But they're... And I remember when I came in the first time, there was an engine here from strike team engine from Contra Costa County, way up north, and they said first thing they wanted to know, I stopped to say hello, and they said, "How do you say Ukaipa?" They were camped down by Ukaipa at the regional park, or not, Noble Creek Park, and they were worried about butchering that name, I guess. We don't want to look like foreigners. And I've done the same thing. I'll stop and ask somebody, "How do you say this?" I need to really bark these tires again. But Camp de Benneville Pines, if you remember the fire there. It's a beautiful day. The sun's out now, but Highway 38 is still closed. They're digging out the culverts here at Stetson Creek, mile marker 24.80. There's another camp up here. Well, let's go look at this creek. I want to go over and see Bob at Jinx Lake. We went to the room, and I want to see the level of the lake. But there was a creek here, and that creek is dry. There's a creek here. It hasn't rained today that I know of. Did yesterday and the day before. Sunday's when they had this big debris flow, and Highway 38 got closed. I'm looking for it's further up. Barton Creek crosses right up here. When you see the Camp Tata Ponchin, yeah, it's right up here. That's the fire burn right out here on the right. I remember the firemen were right. Firefighters were right here, trying to keep it from jumping Jinx Lake Road. Yeah, here's the sign for the Tata Ponchin, and then here's Barton Creek. Let's see how Barton Creek's flowing. Yeah, it's got a pretty good flow. You can step across it. Oh, I think that was Bob's girlfriend there coming down from Jinx. I'll go see Jinx. I brought him some plums. I grabbed some plums off my tree. They're not as sweet as my Santa Rosas. My Santa Rosas were so sweet. I wonder if they have the gate open. Because you can only come from above right now on 38 from Big Bear. From down below, the checkpoint is at Middle Control Road, just above Angeles Oaks. I wonder if the gate is closed. The gate's open. Let's go see if anybody's down. See if Bob's around or Camp Verne. If you remember during the fire, I drove in there. It's I think it's $5 a day to come in Jinx Lake. It's 7 to 6 p.m. Great place to hike. The lake's really down, but hopefully it's coming back up. It was up a little bit a couple weeks ago when I checked it. We've had two big rains up here. The Flume that feeds it came up, but it's back down now. The water's cleared up. It's back down where it was. But let's see what Bob's up to and if anybody's in here. And I've seen guys in here. It's getting kind of shallow for the kayaks. Yeah, there's this car. Yeah, there's somebody down there. You pay right there, or he'll come see you if he's out. There's a little stairwell down here to the lake, right down there. Yeah, it feels like I'm still locked in four-wheel drive. I need to bark these tires off. Basically, you spin them in the lead or the mud, after you come out of 4-wheel drive. It just makes sure that torque is off the. But usually you'll hear it when you turn. You'll hear that. The tires will chirp. He's got an off-duty sign, so I'll leave him alone. I was hoping we could use his cart because I bummed up a knee. I got an old hockey injury that my knees. Let me see if he answered. I sent him a message. Oh, I don't see him answering back. He may be taking a nap. That's why I didn't want to stop. Let me see what everybody says here. Yeah, I don't want to bug them. We'll go back up to Jinx Lake Road. Looks in good shape. They had a heavy dump here Sunday about noon, which drove over by Hart Bar. They got like a 1.86 inches of rain. Drove a lot of the campers out of that area over there. I ran into a family, and the guy said, I ran into him at the Oaks restaurant. He said, rain collapses easy up. So that was a heck of a downpour. But so far, Jinx Lake, we'll go down all the way. I want to hike down to Jinx on the east side, but my knee ain't quite doing good enough to do a hike like that. Not yet. They gave me a shot in the knee, and I get to go to the ortho and have them look at the old hockey injury, see if it's time to fix what popped 20 years ago. It's never really bothered me till lately. Getting older. It may not be that. They're going to MRI it and take a peek. But I know I popped something way back. Got shoved into the boards and my legs kind of whipsawed around. I felt the pop. I took a couple weeks off of skiing and playing hockey, and it never bothered me till, if it's the same thing, I think it is. But here's Poop Out Hill. We used to be able to drive all the way up to the turnout, but now it's most people park here. That takes you up a couple miles up the Poop Out Hill trailhead, and then if you keep going, you'll go. You'll hit the South Fork Santa Ana River Trail that goes up to San Gorgonio. Boy, it's a beautiful day. It has been storming, but today it's held off. There was a little bit on the east of us. I checked about noon. Hell, it's 3:45 already. Yeah, I've been goofing around, talking to the guys at the Setson Creek, the Caltrans and the county workers, and I think they're contractors too. They've got excavators in there digging out the culverts. I saw something. Was that a crow or a hawk or an eagle maybe? Something just flew up. Okay, this may be somebody working on the flume here. Oh, this blew out here, right here. You can see, yeah, right here, it's been blowing out. I wonder if that's Chris. Or it could be a hiker too. My knee ain't gonna allow me to go down. I usually park here and you can go down. That may be Chris. I met him a few months ago. They're working, the Flume feeds the lake. Jinx Lake is to the left there. That's the gate for the east side. There's a group camp here. The Flume comes down over here by Camp Tulaki. Here's the trailhead for South Fork of the Santa Ana River. And there's nobody. Yeah, see there. You can't come up from the valley on the south side. I wonder if anybody's in here. Yeah, there's a car. I usually check them. I make sure that nobody's busted the windows out. You don't leave no vials in there because they've been hitting these, doing window smashes. We're going to get up here. We're going to check right here I need to get the rest of this tarp. I got this out there in the storm Sunday, most of it. Give me a second, I'll be right back. I'm gonna throw this rest of this tarp in. Yeah, it's still nice and muddy like the other pieces. Big giant tarp. I don't know how it got here. Somebody must have dumped it, I'm thinking. I picked most of it up. That's when that lightning cracked right above me. There's Frog Creek, and yeah, Frog Creek's got a little bit of flow now. But I was picking that tarp up when the lightning hit right above the ridge there. It scared the hell out of me. I got back in the truck. Camp Talaki's up here. Talaki? Yeah, right here. That's where the volunteers stay during the weekend. The ones that, some of the ranger volunteers, they hike up on the trails and check permits, and everybody's hurt. And the one lady, Jean, she does the ranger talks over at Grayback Theater. Look at this creek here. This is the Flume. Yeah, it's still got a pretty good flow in there. That goes down and then goes into the east end of the lake. And somebody had dammed it up where the Flume comes from, up Slushy Meadows up there by Poop Out Hill Trailhead. They cleared, Paul hiked way up there and cleared it. It's got a good flow now, and so it's coming back. The lake's coming up. For like 2 years we didn't have any flow, and they got the flow going again. And then somebody closed the diverter gate. Paul went up with the crew and cleared and opened it back up and cleared it. Then somebody put the rock dam. A few weeks later, they dammed it up with rocks, and cleared it again. And we think it's the fly fishermen. They don't want any water diverted out of the South Fork Santa Ana River. But this waterway's been here. There's a bunch of paper back there. I need to go back and get. Captain, they call him Captain Jinx. He's the one that, and I guess the conservation crew helped. They trenched this down, the Flume, back in the 1800s. So it's, and the Big Bear Water District owns the water. They've told Paul, who's leading the effort to get the Flume going again, we can have all the water we want to get the lake filled back up, because they had a fire, lightning strike fire over here Sunday or Monday? Sunday. I filmed that big sky crane over here dipping water. They had 3 lightning strike fires up here, and they came down and dipped. It was getting pretty low where fish were going to die, and they won't be able to dip anymore. But hopefully we'll have a good winter, and we'll get Jinx Lake filled back up. Yeah, you can see the logs of this over here. Now this is the lake fire. This started out of backside of Camp de Benneville. It burned on the east side over here. This is what they call East Flats. This is 7-year-old burn scar here. You'll see some of the burned trees, and up to Poop Out Hill, it's all burned up in there. I was up there during the El Dorado fire 2 years ago, and it's coming back really nice. That's a 7-year-old burn scar. You can go in there now. They usually keep them closed for a year or two to reseed and let the mountain, grow back, start growing back. Now, when I turned off back there, that's Jinx Lake Road West. We're driving east. This road parallels, Jinx Lake Road parallels 38, Highway 38. So we're going to come out what they call Jinx Lake Road East. I guess halfway is when it switches. I think I remember measuring this. It was 4 miles long, 3.5 miles. I should measure it. But this is down Camp Chinook's down here. Some people camp here in this flat here. Camp Conrad Chinook. And then down around here's where the Cherry Valley Bowhunters this coming weekend has their 3D shoot. You can come in this way. It's usually faster to go 38 and turn off Jinx Lake Road West. Yeah, here's the, they got the sign up already. The Bowhunter. Look at a picture of the sign. Oh, those guys are already camping in there. Hey, what is it, Tuesday? Yeah, there might be some early birds. I think that motorhome was there last Sunday when I didn't come up here Sunday. It was Saturday I came up here. Yeah, I want to get a picture. It's pretty level in here. It's 1N84. Yeah, that's actually a forestry road. But go down just 8th mile, you'll see all the campers, and they'll have a target range set up. I think they do 60 targets, which is a lot. Give me a picture. My other phone, actually my number one phone, I put in, it only had 128 gigs of internal. I couldn't get more memory when it's a Samsung 20 Ultra. But I put in a 2 terabyte SD card. It's has excuse me, external memory, but it's I'm losing pictures. My pictures are suddenly I can't use them. So I should have used this camera. Another camp right there. That's East Flats on the right there. Where you saw that motorhome back in there. We're coming down and we're getting close to Highway 38. I'll shut it down when we get to 38, the video. Boy, it's a nice day. It's a little warm, a little humid. Yeah, I was out picking up trash earlier and it's kind of humid. In fact, there was a beer bottle or something over here I wanted to grab. I'll get it. There's a big chunk of, there's a whiskey bottle and I'll have to come back for that. Whiskey bottle and a big chunk of cardboard. I try and do some trash picking. It's been a lot better with the freeway. The highway shut down. I'm able to get those switchbacks. Or it's kind of dangerous when it's open to be walking in there. But I put on my safety vest. I've been in there picking up a lot of the trash where I can't normally get to. Down where the checkpoints are, in between, I can, having the road closed help. And then you come down here to Highway 38's right up here. You make a right, you go to Sugarloaf, the back way to Big Ware. You make a left, you'll go down to Glass Road. I'm going to take a right down Glass Road. They said it washed out down at the bottom bridge. The maintenance guy, him and his, there's something they got saying, a Big Bear shoot. That's it for the Jinx Lake ride.